Hi everybody, Bearded Viking Gamer here, and today I have some pickups and stuff to show you guys off on here. It's been a couple weeks since I posted a video. We've been super busy. In that time, we've had a new baby enter the life here, and he's player number 3. So we're super excited to have him on board here. I can't wait to see what kind of games and stuff he's into. And my brother ended up having his wedding, which is awesome. And I also had my birthday during that time. So I want to show you guys just some of the stuff that I've picked up, some of the stuff I got even for my birthday, things like that. Throughout that time, I did end up buying a game lot in that time. So I want to show you guys some of the stuff that I kept out of here. And I'll tell you guys some of the stuff that we ended up pushing off onto the side that I'm not going to keep. So let me show you guys, without further ado, let's jump to it and show you guys what I got. Alright guys. So, as I mentioned before, I ended up having my birthday during this whole time that I didn't shoot any of these videos. And I want to show you guys some of the stuff that I ended up getting for my birthday in here. I got a couple of freaking awesome items from Sean and Adam. Ended up surprising me with a whole bunch of stuff in here. So let me show you guys first what he got me there. First things first was, he surprised me actually. They dropped this thing off at the door and did a ditch and run, those little shits. But because they know I wouldn't accept anything, that's how they had to do it. So first thing they did here is they bought me the Last of Us records, and these things are freaking killer. Let me see if I can show you. This is the Last of Us, the first game actually, volume 1. Let me see if I can just show you guys what some of these records look like. They look freaking awesome. The artwork on it's freaking just amazing. But look at this one. Look at how freaking cool those records look. It just looks amazing. So, super happy to have those. And I'll show you guys some of the artwork here in just a second. Let me put this back in here. But yeah, they surprised me with this. They know I love The Last of Us, so of course. And you can see some of the fungus and stuff on the back of the record. And you open it up and there's, you know, the bridge, and just freaking awesome. Look at that. This looks so cool. So that was volume 1 that they surprised me with. Okay. And they didn't even stop there. They also picked up volume 2. And this one's just as cool. It's completely different artwork. This one has, you know, some of the Firefly symbol pendant and stuff on there. It's got Ellie and stuff on the front, and look at that. It's totally cool. That's just awesome looking, man. I love it. So on top of all that stuff, they didn't stop there. So Sean and I have been looking for a certain game for a long time, and they surprised me with this. I don't know where he found it or how he got it, but I've been looking for this one for a long time for the PlayStation 2, and this is Samurai Western. So they surprised me with that for my birthday on here. And if you guys have never played this, it's an Atlas title, so it's sought after already. You know, most of those Atlas titles are like that. But it's just like the title says on here. It's a Western game, but you're a samurai in there, and you're cutting up all the cowboys and stuff. It's freaking cool. It's a cool game, and we've been looking for this for a while. I had it in my hands at one point when we were in a store, and I decided not to do it, and I regretted it ever since. And Sean and I have always been looking for it since then, and we just couldn't find it. But it's cool to have it complete in here, so that's freaking awesome. With that, they actually ended up picking me this up too. They picked up a Xbox One red controller for me. Awesome there, so I can jump into some of that, because the Xbox controllers that I ended up getting and stuff were just kind of damaged on there, so I wasn't able to play with them. And they also picked up Sea of Thieves for me for the Xbox One. And this one's awesome. This is a Halo and the Master Chief Collection, so this is the 4 games in one here. Freaking cool, man. And it's all remastered and stuff, so it's like, I can't wait to jump back in there. I love the Halo series. It was awesome. Of course, Gears of War is going to be next on the list in there, but I want to thank you guys so much for those birthday presents. It's freaking awesome, man. It's just super cool. I can't believe the old Samurai Western, man. That little shit. You know, I wanted that for a long time. Alright, let me jump into some of this other stuff that I've picked up here. So this one here is for a Switch, okay? And this was from Limited Run. They ended up shipping it out. Now, the thing with Limited Run, if you order a bunch of stuff through Limited Run, it takes a long time for them to actually make the order and make the item and ship it out to you. So what they do is, like, you'll order it, I mean, this is 6 months ago even, some of them. You'll see other things in here that are just really a long time ago, and then they end up coming and you forget you even ordered this stuff, you know, because they're not there for any period of time. But this was for the Switch here, and this is Streets of Red, the Devil's Dare Deluxe. And this is freaking cool. This is, it's got a lot of, I don't know if you can see the artwork and stuff on the back, but it's a little beat 'em up in an arena style, and there's a lot of blood and guts and stuff in there, but it's cool, man. You gotta jump in there and beat everybody up. This is a cool little set, though. Happy to have that in here. Another one here on the, that was released actually the day right before my birthday there, so I was super excited to get this. I waited a long time for this one, but this, of course, is The Last of Us 2. Now, there was a lot of hate that, you know, that surrounded this game. And, you know, I know that there was some stuff that got leaked, and I stayed away from all that. But there's a lot of people who are giving it negative things. You know, they just don't understand that this is a revenge story. And that's what you get, really, when you play it. You get a lot of revenge. But it was an awesome game. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I played and played and played and played and played until I was able to beat it, because I've been waiting for so long for that. But it came with a steelbook case. There you can see Ellie, and then there's Abby on the back. And it did come with a little art book with it. But yeah, for those of you, I would recommend you play it, and you know, do your own thoughts on it. I loved it. It was very dark, very gruesome. But it is completely different than the first one, because the first one, you know, it's about them bonding and things like that. And this one is completely about revenge, and it's very, very graphic. It's awesome. It's a very good game. Show you guys some more stuff. Back when I was little, there was obviously the internet and the phones and stuff weren't available, so, you know, even beepers and stuff weren't out then. And what I ended up doing is I would go to a little bookstores and things. And I don't know if you guys ever remember these, but this is How to Win in Nintendo Games. And this is a 3-volume set here. And I don't know if you guys remember seeing these things at all, but man, it's freaking totally brings back memories reading through these. And they have, you know, they end up having codes, and there's number 2 on here, How to Win at Nintendo Games 3. I post some of this stuff on my Instagram, and I normally post stuff that I don't normally talk about on here. So if you guys do end up checking out Instagram on there, I am Bearded Viking Gamer with no spaces or anything, so just Bearded Viking Gamer. That's my Instagram name on there, so you should check some stuff out on there. I do show some stuff that I don't normally show in here. You know, things that are some of the rare stuff. I show some cool stuff on there, but this has brought back memories seeing this on here and getting these things. You'd go through here and there'd be the code books and stuff, little codes and stuff before, you know, any of the phones or any of that stuff was out there. This was the way you had to do stuff. You had to go and read it in books or strategy guides or something, or called the Nintendo Hotline. I mean, you had to do that stuff. It's kind of crazy to think back, and now you can just search it on your phone and have it. But it's cool to have this back in here. I haven't seen these in years, little books like this. All right, show you guys some cool Xbox 360 stuff here. Here are 2 faceplate exchanges. I don't know if you're familiar, but the Xbox 360, you can change all the faceplates out on them, okay? And here's 2 of them on here. This is a cool one here. This one's Assassin's Creed. Looks pretty freaking awesome. Got this from my buddy Daniel. He hooked me up with these. And the other one, this one's freaking cool too. I love this. Right when he showed it to me, I was like, dude, that's awesome, Daniel. And this is Street Fighter. But look at all the characters on there. That's just a cool faceplate cover, man. I love it. It looks so awesome. Yeah, it's got them all chilling on there. But that's some cool faceplates for the 360. Alright. Show you guys some more stuff here. Here was... this is an Xbox game that I didn't have on here. And this was Ghost Recon Summit Strike 2. I just didn't have that one on there. I have a lot of the Ghost Recon stuff, but for the original Xbox, I just didn't have that one. And then this one was Ghost Recon 2, just First Contact, so completely different game, but another, this is PlayStation 2. But freaking cool, man. Those little Ubisoft games. And then this is the a PSP portable, but this is the collector's edition. This is Ratchet and Clank Size Matters. The PSP. Freaking cool, man. Awesome to have that in there. Super excited there. And then he also had this too he wanted to just get rid of on there, but this is when we went to E3. This is what they gave out. So they had these little booths you could go to at E3, and they were showing off an Uncharted Lost Legacy. Okay? And when you go down there, they had these tote bags sitting in the seats at E3. And it's, you know, made of just like a bag material. And it's just cool. It's got the design of it on there, and it's got your handles and stuff on here. So this is where I was carrying a bunch of stuff around E3 with a bunch of this. But it's cool to have one of these in the game room again in here. The Uncharted, the Lost Legacy, just tote bags. Pretty cool. Ended up picking some stuff. There was a buddy on Instagram that hit me up, and this is Classy Plastic Retro is his name. He actually sent some buttons and stuff for the channel here. It's pretty cool. He surprised me with those when I opened it up. But it's a ton of, I already put a bunch of them on the shelf in here too, but a ton of NES sleeves. Okay? A whole bunch of these little NES sleeves, because I hate not having some of them, but they're just everywhere. You just got sleeves all over the place. And then a whole bunch of them to be folded and things too. So thank you very much. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's awesome. It's cool. It's cool the people you meet on Instagram and things like that too. So it's cool to have that. Let me guys show you some more stuff in here. All right. So in one of the pickups, I picked up a big game lot. It was me and my buddy Sean actually, and I picked a bunch of stuff up that I wanted in the game room here, and then he took a bunch of the stuff that we're basically not going to use anymore. So we'll end up selling it or trading it or doing whatever with it. But the stuff that we didn't keep was like some GameCubes, a couple PS2s, PS3s, Xbox 360s, whole bunch of games. There's a Game Boy in there, a whole bunch of stuff, okay? And this is the stuff that I wanted to keep on here. This was a PSP. This is the newer version. This is a 3000 series, but it was cool. It had a little camera and stuff on it. Very clean, actually. So the screen was really clean on there. I ended up picking this from a different lot. I'm kind of jumping around here a little bit, but this was sort of a different lot I picked up from a person, and I didn't have one. This is a Gameboy Pocket. Okay, and I am missing the back cover on it, but I'll have to find one of those. But a Gameboy Pocket, pretty cool. I'll have to clean all these up, but let me jump through some of these here. In that game lot, there was some more. This was a Game Boy game. This is Kirby's Dream Land. I didn't have that on there, so cool to put that in the collection. Super Mario Land. Awesome. This is just national. This is a UMD. This is National Treasure, a little movie for the PSP. But the case is cool because I can put some of the case games, loose games that I have in there for that. Here's a collection of Activision classic games for the Atari 2600 for the PlayStation. So instead of having to put the old 2600 in there and getting those, you can just throw it right in the PlayStation and play all the games. Here's another one on here. This is Pac-Man World. I didn't have this one on there. This is for the PlayStation. Alright. And here's another one I did not have. This was NFL Blitz. The case is kind of beat up there, but it's perfectly fine. The old map of Skyrim on there. I don't know if you guys have seen that. Alright. There was more stuff in here. Now I have quite a bit of PSP games I want to go through here and show you guys some of the stuff, but this was one that was in a lot that I picked up. This is the Nintendo 64, the transfer pack. And you could put your Game Boy game in there and transfer your stuff over. But it's freaking awesome how you could do that. You know, a little transfer pack for the Game Boy and for the Nintendo 64. Cool to get one of them. Here is a little set here. So this is from Special Reserve Games, okay? And they're just like limited run games. It's some of their stuff that they put out there takes a while to get. So it could be months you're waiting for again, but they do a lot of limited stuff. Like this one, this particular set that I have here, there's only 8,000 of them, which it's a good amount. Some of the stuff that I normally get is maybe only 1,000 of them to maybe 2,000 of them. So this one's got a lot more units than normal, but this is for the Nintendo Switch. And this is Hotline Miami, the collection, okay? And this has stickers and a whole bunch of stuff on here, but it's got 1 and 2 on there for the Nintendo Switch. As you can see here, it is numbered, so it's 2,514 out of 8,000. So they are numbered units. But it's freaking awesome to have that on there. And in case you guys have seen any of the demo stuff when they were demoing The Last of Us 2, when you saw the little girl in there, or the lady in there playing on the Vita, that's the game she was playing. It's kind of weird how it ended up happening that way, but that's the game she was playing on there. Pretty neat. Alright, let me show you guys some of this stuff here. Here is some PSP stuff. I'm going to go through some of these on here. There's a Switch game. So for the PSP, I didn't have this one on here. This is the Hustle Detroit Streets. Pool. Playing pool, man. Playing pool. Another PSP game here. This is Grand Theft Auto, The Liberty City Stories. It's cool having a little Grand Theft Auto game on a little handheld, man. It makes it fun. Makes it a lot of fun. This one's freaking cool. This was Capcom Classics Collection Remixed. Whole bunch of goodies on there. You got Strider, Bionic Commando, a whole bunch of stuff on there. Final Fight, some cool stuff on there. I'll show you the back of it on there. Cool little collections from Capcom. This was a Bookman's pickup. And this was Final Fantasy, 20th anniversary for the PSP. Freaking awesome. This one here is Final Fantasy Tactics, The War of the Lions on the PSP. These little tactic games are fun. They're, time-based on there and a lot of fun. This is like a Diablo style game. I love these type of games. And this is for the PSP, but this is Dungeon Siege, Throne of Agony. Again, look at the back of it. It's totally like a Diablo style if you're into those type of games. But it looks freaking awesome. Another one that's Diablo style, again, this is Untold Legends, The Warrior's Code for the PSP. Again, I love those Diablo style games, guys, so anything else that resembles that, it just makes it a lot of fun. I love getting your character, building up stuff, dropping more loot and picking it up and getting your guy going. This one is Untold Legends, Brotherhood of the Blade. Another Diablo style. This is just I think this was the first one, and I think the other one that I showed you there was the second one, actually. Here is a Nintendo Switch game. This is Into the Dead 2. Okay, just has a cool name on it. It's a first-person shooter. Zombies and things like that. It's freaking cool looking. I don't know if you can see that as well on there, but it looks incredible. And this does include special content. So certain ones on here. This one has the Night of the Living Dead mode, and it has the Ghostbusters. So it's cool that it includes it, and you can find those up here. Certain ones don't have that, and certain ones do. So those are the ones to look for. Let me show you guys some more stuff here. Alright. So here was Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker for the PSP. Okay. Awesome. And this is another Capcom Classics collection, but this one's reloaded, okay? What's neat about this is just like the other one on there, but this one has 1942, 1943, Street Fighter, Ghosts and Goblins, Knights of the Round, King of Dragons. These are just killer beat 'em ups that were on the Super Nintendo and things. And 1942 and 1943, those were original Nintendo. But just awesome. This is a killer collection. If you have a PSP, you just have to get this. So there's a whole bunch of good games on here. There's the back of it there. This is awesome. Those two on. If you get both those Capcom Classics Collection ones, you can't go wrong. I'm a big fan of. Let's see if we can pull it up here. I know I got them in here. Thought I had them sitting right here. Where are they? Oh, they're down here in the bottom without pulling it out here. But the Parasite Eve collection. I loved Parasite Eve. I had some stuff to trade, actually, some extra Parasite Eve stuff to trade at expos and stuff when I went there. And that stuff traded very, very well. But this was one I didn't have on the PSP, and this was the third birthday. It comes right off that series. And, man, it's just crazy to see that stuff. I wish more of that stuff would come back. I miss that. Parasite Eve was a cool one. This one's awesome. I still am playing this right now. Music and everything's cool, but this is Castlevania: The Dracula X Chronicles, and there's Symphony of the Night and Rondo of Blood on here. You just have to unlock them, but it's cool. Together at Last. Look at them all on there. But this is a cool set for sure. Dragon Ball Z for the PSP. A lot of PSP titles here, guys. It's a fun little handheld. This one is Street Fighter Alpha 3 Max. Cool artwork, man. It's just awesome. On a handheld. This one is Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII. PSP, Final Fantasy VII lover, or Final Fantasy lovers for that matter. This is you got to get these, man. This was an awesome one. This one is Twisted Metal Head On for the PSP. I wish they would do a modern day Twisted Metal, man. That would be something else. You imagine with the graphics and stuff now, with chunks of the cars flying off, it would be amazing. You throw a rock, shoot a rocket, half the car could blow up. It'd be freaking cool. This is Final Fantasy, the Dissidia Final Fantasy. So another cool one right there. Square Enix always putting out that stuff. This one is Dead or Alive Paradise. Get them all bouncing around everywhere. Here's another PSP title. This one is Ace Combat X, Skies of Deception. So just cool having the stuff handheld, man. Like I say, can't go wrong there. Here is God of War: The Ghosts of Sparta for the PSP. Loving those God of War, man. Another one here is God of War: The Chains of Olympus. This is Disgaea: The Afternoon of Darkness on the PSP. Alright, now let me show you guys a couple more items here, and then this is what I got. So, this was a pawn shop pickup in here. And this is the Halo 3 Essentials DVD and a whole bunch of footage and stuff from Halo 3. It's the Essentials pack, and it has, you know, a couple different CDs and stuff in there for the 360 and art books and things like that in here. This is for that Halo 3 Collector's Edition, inside that helmet and stuff that you'd put this in here. I do have the helmet in there. I actually have it signed, but by Master Chief himself, man. It was freaking awesome meeting him. But it's cool to find this in a pawn shop for sure. I'm just gonna snag it up cheap. I think I got it for $3. Here's one on here. This is a Xbox One game that was a pawn shop pickup, and this was Sunset Overdrive. Cool little exclusive. to the Xbox there. Cool artwork, man. I love it. This was also in that same pawn shop. This was, I just didn't have this one. I had the collection for the first one, but not this one. This is Hitman 2 for the PS4. Pretty neat. Alright, here was, this is Rise, Son of Rome. Now, this was a launch title on the Xbox, and I know it's not very good, but I always wanted to play it and just didn't have the Xbox One at the time. So it was super cheap. I mean, this is the day one edition of 2013. So yeah, I know it's not that great, but still cool. Getting that Roman times. Half-Life for the PlayStation 2 here. Pretty awesome. Original Half-Life. Pretty cool, man. Sierra, I wish they would come back and do more stuff on there. I know they have that VR one on there, and I'm dying to do that. Alright, and then this one here, this is one that I've been wanting for a while. And I believe there's only, I can't remember, I think there's only 2,000 of these. I could be wrong. I can't remember how many there are total on this. But this is for the River City Ransom and things like that. This is River City Melee. This is PS4. And this is from Limited Run themselves. And it's freaking just cool, man. Just they did a cool job on it. And it's still an arena-based beat 'em up on there. Totally the old NES graphics. But it's cool seeing that stuff on there. But yeah, it's very awesome. Alright, and that's what I got for you guys this whole time in here. I do have some more stuff, but I'll show you that in a different video in here. But that's what I got for you guys this time in here. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I really appreciate it. And if you liked what you see here, any of that stuff, please feel free to subscribe. I'll leave a little thing at the end of the video here for you to subscribe on. And thanks again, guys. Appreciate it. We'll see you guys next week.